Hello, this is Kip Malek and Malek. In this video, I'm going to talk about the C84, the request for temporary total compensation. And I have that loaded up here. You should be able to see it if this software is working right. But essentially, to get temporary total compensation, disability compensation, you have to have a Medco 14, which I've talked about in the first set of videos. The doctor fills out the Medco 14. It certifies that you're temporarily and totally disabled or you're working with restrictions. And, if you're temporarily and totally disabled, then, you'll get TT until the date of certification. If you're working with restrictions and your employer does not, that's the key, does not give you a light duty written job offer within those restrictions, then you would receive compensation. So again, if you're working with restrictions and your doctor or your employer gives you a light duty written job offer, the key is it's written and it's within your restrictions, you have to take the job, the job offer. Now if you go to the job and you find that it's not in fact within your restrictions, have your doctor call up your employer, explain, hey, what you're having them do, it doesn't work. You're not complying with the Medco 14, and then usually that will give the employer to, either take you back off work or find a position that works within your restrictions. Okay, so when you go to your doctor, they'll fill out the Medco 14. You'll fill out the C84, and I'm going to go in this video. I'm just going to go over the things that you'd absolutely need to do. And honestly, with the C84, it's a very simple document, but you really have to fill out everything correctly. This is one of the easy ways that it will hold up your TT. So you usually do this at the doctor's office. If you don't do this at the doctor's office, you'll need to do it on your own. You can find this on the BWC site or ask your attorney. They'll help you fill it out as well. So you fill out all the biographical information at the top. It's pretty self-explanatory. Disability information. Okay, so if this is a new, you'd click new. If it's extension, click extension. And it's going to, when was the last date worked due to the work-related disability? So if you got injured and you haven't worked since the injury, that would be your date. Okay? Otherwise, whenever the last date worked. And then you put all your providers, whatever doctor's treating you, you put them on here. Okay. What was your occupation? It doesn't have to be too specific, just roughly what you did. Were you a warehouse worker, construction worker, painter, etc.? Do you have a job to return to? Yes, no, I don't know. This one, you can put, if you don't know, just put I don't know. Or if your position was eliminated, say no, or whatever. If yes, does your employer offer modified light duty work? Again, if you don't know, just say I don't know. That's the easiest thing to do. Do you feel capable? You can say yes or no. Just fill out everything. That's like the key with the C84. Fill out everything. Are you currently working in any capacity? Yes or no. Have you previously worked in any capacity? Yes or no. If yes, who is your employer? If no, when was the last date worked anywhere? Again, if the last day you worked anywhere was, the date of your injury, you would put the date of your injury. Reason for leaving, I was injured. What do you feel is preventing you from returning to work? You could just put the pain, the discomfort from my injuries, my leg hurts or whatever. Whatever your injury, whatever caused your injury or whatever body part is injured, related to that body part. Voc rehab, voc rehabilitation information. Just say, if appropriate, would you consider participating in voc rehabilitation? I don't know why you wouldn't, so just put yes. But if you absolutely no, then say no, and why not. So, but the key thing is fill out everything. Do not leave anything blank. If you leave anything blank, they'll send it back to you without fail. Okay, now the other really important thing not to screw up is this section: benefits, earnings received or requested during this period of disability. Okay, because if you either don't disclose something knowingly, like you lie, or you're just not sure and you don't disclose it and it's incorrect, what that could, I'll just give you an example. So I had a client who had been on the Social Security retirement. He had been saying receiving, and he had said no. And he had done this for a number of years, and in fact, he was receiving Social Security retirement. He didn't tell us this. He wasn't. I'm not really sure if it was. Honestly, I just think it was an oversight. I don't think it was something he did fraudulently. That's my impression of it. But what ended up happening is the BWC ended up catching on that he did, in fact, get Social Security retirement for a number of years, and it resulted in a substantial overpayment. And when you have an overpayment, what that means in relation to your BWC claim is that you don't owe. They're not gonna. The BWC isn't gonna reach into your bank account. They're not gonna send you a bill like, hey, you owe us, $10,000 because of this overpayment. What that means in regards to your workers' compensation claim is any future payment they're going to pay out, they're going to recoup the overpayment from these future payments. So they might take a certain percentage of each payment. But anyway, so unemployment, if you're receiving it, the effect on unemployment is it's going to offset your TT. So you don't get both. You don't get unemployment and TT. And in fact, if your doctor is taking you completely off work, you can't get unemployment because unemployment means that you're able to work. Okay? So the only real way you get unemployment in that situation is if you had removed from work with restrictions and, your employer terminated you. Public assistance, sick leave. The way sick leave works is if your employer pays in the sick leave completely, then it offsets your TT. Now, if you pay into your sick leave, then you can get both. There might be some offset. Wage salary continuation. Again, if you're basically, salary continuation is your employer is paying TT, but kind of off the books, so it doesn't affect their insurance rates. But again, you gotta explain that. Say yes or no. Disability benefits, earnings. So this is super important. If you are receiving temporary total disability compensation, then you absolutely cannot be working. Okay, if you're in working is really anything. Even if you, like for instance, I'll give you another example. I had a client who was saying, hey, they have this program, this government program where I could tutor kids and I get a stipend. And you would think, okay, and the government program, people were like, no, this isn't work. This isn't work. Now, and it was only, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 a year, which, it's 5,000 or 6,000. Money is money. But the way the BWC interpreted it, they would consider that like wages. So if that guy was receiving compensation and he got this stipend, the BWC would investigate it, and that could be a fraud issue. If there's a fraud issue, not only is there an overpayment, but it's a criminal thing. Okay, so now you're no longer just an injured worker. Now you're you're going to trial, in a criminal trial possibly. Then you will have to pay that back. So it's, again, if you're receiving compensation, you don't want to be working. Okay, if you find a job where you can get paid, don't take compensation. Go work at the job. Okay, make that decision. You either work or you don't. Frankly, if you're able to find a job, you'd be probably better off going back to work. You're always going to make more money working than getting compensation. Compensation is just kind of like it tides you over until you can work again. It's okay. So that's the C84. the biggest thing I could tell you right now is just fill everything out. Don't leave anything blank. If you're not sure about something, as always, go to your attorney. And as I do in all these videos, you know, I recommend getting an attorney, whether you come to us, Malek and Malek, or any other attorney in Columbus or Ohio for that matter. Get an attorney. This BWC stuff is complicated enough that it'll pay dividends to get an attorney. So with that said, hopefully this video has helped you in some fashion. If you have any questions, either call, email, whatever. And otherwise, have a nice day.